Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
This is your before and after story. Southeastern College can help you prepare for a secure and fulfilling career in the growing healthcare field. We offer a wide range of careers to choose from. So whether you want to be a medical assistant, medical billing and coding specialist, nurse, surgical technologist, or another healthcare career, we've got you covered. Become a vital part of a healthcare team and make a real difference. Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.
Uh-oh. Oh my God, we're live.
I know. What happened? I don't know what happened.
We're live.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Thanks for reminding.
I always say that. Or is it? I don't think
I'm
it is.
here.
Right.
I'm hot. I'm pissed against. I had a mow today, so I'm kind of mad at everything.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the rain in my town that they keep saying that's coming in. It never arrives.
Well, wait a second, time out. I looked over and all I see is Donnie's dog in the background with his butt up in the air. the
Shoving his butt in everyone's face.
He was giving everybody a good show. Okay, I just give it that way.
He was just saying hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he plops. Spread eagle, blink, done. Sorry, didn't mean to digress there, but it was just I look up. There's right over Donnie's shoulder.
Right.
That's why I don't blur my background. I like people to see my dog. It's like a little Easter egg, guys.
The only thing they need to see me is that fan back there, running right there.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Everybody had a good weekend, I hope, and I know we had fun last night when me and Donnie were doing the one show, and then at home with Tex and Jason, which I was surprised we didn't get more of a fight out of Jason on that song. But anyway, y'all had some fun Friday night too. I was in there moderating that one. That was kind of fun. It was a blast actually watching that one.
Yeah, it was really good. And, we still have the GoFundMe available for Bigfooters for Bethesda. We're trying to help these kids out to have at least a little bit of peace, a little bit of help, and a little bit of normalcy, at least for just a little while. You can check that out again under GoFundMe, and it is Bigfooters for Bethesda. So if you haven't donated, please donate now, or just share it out and see if we can get some more. We're trying to get, as much as we can before, the time for our charity runs out.
Here we go. Boom. Well, maybe boom. Nope. I hate the GoFundMe daggum links. They're a little bit long sometimes.
I don't know where it is.
I've got it, but the link itself, oh my goodness gracious, GoFundMe. Let's do it this way. I should do it this way. See if I can get this without.
Right.
that.
But don't forget, we do have the conference coming up in September. It is creeping up fast. Very,
It
very
is also,
fast.
that's pinned.
We're almost to July.
Yeah, we are.
You know that? We're almost to July. We've got 2 months, everyone. 2 months to this conference. 2 months.
Yep.
But just to let you know that, go ahead.
No, you keep, because I'm doing just that right there. I'm not going to throw a video out at you this time.
Right. Okay. So, keep in mind that if you would like to be a vendor, we have unlimited spots that are available because we have a whole entire fairground type thing that we can put you at. So there's, no fighting for space, everyone. We still have the Psychic Gallery with Mary Lynn Bast. We have the conference all day Saturday. We have a meet and greet on Friday night, which will include more speakers. And Thursday night, for all ticket holders, we do have a special social night that we're going to be putting on. And that's just more time with the speakers, more time with everybody else, just having a good time, nothing formal.
Good old shindig.
Good old shindig, yeah.
Man, everyone's going to get so drunk that night. I can already tell.
I hope we got DDs out there somewhere. So,
yeah.
Either way, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time all the way around. So we've got the Eventbrite link is pinned out in chat. I just put out the GoFundMe link, so you go check it. We're a little over $4,600 on that now. So
yep, we got $400 because I said I want to see it reach 5,000. We got $400 to go. That's all we need.
Yep,
we're almost there, guys.
It'll be
almost
great.
there.
So, yeah. So anyway, now we want to talk about somebody's birthday.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Do I need to do it? I'm gonna go get my best, Marilyn Monroe accent if I have to.
Oh gosh, no, please don't. That's okay though. Thank you though. It's a thought that counts. Yeah, it's the thought that counts.
But anyway, happy birthday.
Hoarse. Thank you. I'm still a little bit hoarse from yesterday. Of course, you know that everybody who follows Bonds and Booze knows we were in a Emmaus asylum last night again, which was really super cool because some of the things that have happened to me that I have not only validated with my own evidence and other personal experiences, we had even more happen last night. Really? Now, the very first time that I went to Emmaus, I was always talking about on the 3rd floor that I seen a full-bodied apparition. It was a young man. He had a blue type of sweater on, very form-fitting with a crew neck. His pants were either like a dark brown, dark blue, or even black kind of corduroy type pants that I had seen. He had the brown hair like a longer, I call them bowl cuts. I don't even know what to call them, but it's kind of like the bowl cut, one of the
a beetle cut
at certain times boys would have.
Like from like the 60s?
Yeah, and even the 70s, even the 70s.
Like the Beatles.
The Beatles, the Monkees, such as that. It was definitely like that. Anyway, but I couldn't see its face. The face was a blur. There were no facial features to see.
Wow.
So last night, of course, I'm in the same building. And there was a bunch of people sitting outside. It was, hot as all get out. So everybody, all of the other members of our paranormal group were sitting outside. I was inside with some of our guest attendees. And when I came back out, one of the owners of Haunted Souls Paranormal, which is the paranormal group I'm a part of, he says, "Brandy, I seen your guy."
Uh-oh.
And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I was sitting here, and then I'm looking out. There is another one that used to be like, I don't know if it's the superintendent's house or what, the pastor's house. I don't know what it was, but it's a house that's sitting back there. It is abandoned. You can go in it, but I don't recommend it right now. It's full of, wasps and other things because it's neglected." And he said, while I was sitting here and looking out towards that house, I seen a blue blur kind of go right across there. He goes, I just knew that it was that one apparition that you were talking about.
Yeah.
He goes, I've seen it. It just ran right across there. And funny enough, we got a text like 5 minutes after Krista and Frankie were talking about it. I was still inside. 5 minutes after that, Brian Bowden texts Krista. And he's telling her, hey, there's something out there in that woods.
Yeah.
And he said that, described it, what side it was on, what it looked like. And he was describing it as more of a Bigfoot-like creature.
Okay.
I don't know. But he was describing everything to a T of where we were. Everything was there. And he's like, there's something out there. It's watching you. Literally after this had happened.
But he wasn't, y'all weren't online or anything. He just had.
Yes. Yeah, we were not live. We were not, nothing. And it had just happened. and Krista and Frankie were discussing all of the stuff that was happening, of what happened. And then Brian texts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was
so
he
had
trying
no
to remote view
idea.
y'all or something?
Huh?
Well, he was on with Paul that night.
Yeah, he was on
with
Paul.
So he knew Paul went there, showed up too, right, last night?
Right. But he was describing exactly where we were sitting at that specific moment and what way we were looking.
Wow.
Which,
that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. Yeah. So, he had, I don't know how, but he knew it. He knew exactly what was out there, and he said something was watching us. But Frankie thinks it's, more of my guy, the apparition that I had seen, just because of the color of the shirt and everything that I had described in that blur that he had seen.
Yeah.
So he said that. So that was pretty cool all in itself.
But all about lonesome.
Yeah, right. So everybody's heard the story of my Whistler man. Yeah. Right? So the quick story, I went to Emmaus, heard the Whistler man, blah, 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 came home. Next thing you know, I had the whistling in my house.
This is your before and after story. Instead of imagining a rewarding career in medical imaging, Southeastern College can actually take you there. Prepare for a career in ultrasound, radiology, and X-ray technology. With hands-on specialized training, simulations, and real-life experience with the latest imaging technology, you'll be ready to play a vital role on any healthcare team. Transform your life by helping others. Southeastern College. Your future is bright. Visit scc.edu to get started.
And I'm like, this is not going to work out. So 2 weeks later, I went back to there and I made sure I told him, you need to get in my car because we're going for a drive. You're not staying here. You got to go.
You got
so
to go
all
home.
weekend long. So all weekend long, I was in and out of that building with Miguel Ramirez.
Yeah.
Did not hear the Whistler man. And I was very shocked and I was kind of scared because I'm like, man, I don't want to go home and it's still there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't want to do that. So Maddie, also from Haunted Souls, came over there because we had found a broken door and one of the doors was shut on the bathroom, which is a very important room to the story of Emmaus. So the doorknob was broken off and shut and we couldn't open it. So we were taking pictures of just to show her dad exactly what's going on and how can we open this. Mm-hmm. And it was just her and I in the whole building and we heard the whistle. So I'm thinking, you know what? That's pretty cool. I was so excited, so happy. I'm like, at least I know it's right. So I had a group of basically newbies with me last night. I love newbies. They're always my favorite, with the enthusiasm, the whole.
Yeah, it's like a life-changing experience for a lot of those people.
Right. I want those times. Well, I had them in the first session that we were doing. And, of course, I always do the senses and our body's vibrations, things like that. Brought out the singing bowl. I brought out Tingsha bells this time, which are awesome. They're really super awesome. And I brought those too while I was charging up that building like nobody's business in there. And so I had them all going around and, we're doing all kinds of stuff. And then we leave the building. Later on in that evening, we were talking and I said, to that group, and I said, don't worry about it if you can't get it to or you can't hear the whistle. I said, because it may be because there's men there. I said, that's what I've noticed. Every time I heard this thing whistle, it's all completely women. So they went down there by themselves later on in the evening. And I'm like, you go, you can do this. They went down there and they had a recorder and everything. And they couldn't get it to whistle. And one of the girls says she said to the guys, hey, get out. She made all the guys leave the building and just left the females in the room because it was a good sized group and there was a good mixture. Yeah. So she said, all the guys go outside. Let's see what we get. So she puts a recorder down and then they get the whistle.
Yeah. The minute they're all gone.
And then like 20, 25 seconds later, there's another whistle. So she's so excited. They're so excited. They have to come tell me, So they come all the way up the hill and they're like, you got to hear this. You got to hear this. And they said, we heard the whistle. And then she told me that she kicked all the guys out. And I said, well, that sounds like it, the good, just about right from what I've been through. Yeah. And she played it for me. And she says, when I heard the whistle, she said it was out in the hallway and we were in the bathroom. But she says, you got to hear this. So when she played it, that whistle was like it was sitting on top of that recorder and whistling. You don't need to fix that audio at all. You could hear it clear and loud, and it whistles, and then you hear it whistle just as loud right on top of her again, because she's holding that recorder right on top of her, and it did it again.
Do you have the audio right now? I kind of want to listen to it.
I don't have the audio. This is her own personal audio.
Oh.
We've asked her to send it to us. Maybe, I can get a hold of that. Yeah. But as she's telling me all this stuff, I turned around to, Frankie, and I said, now you see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying.
That's actually really cool. And what's really the coolest thing to me about it is she's a newbie, like you said, and it happened to her, and she did not freak out and run away.
Right.
Nivera is asking, was it a wolf whistle?
No. Yeah, no, it is not. It is not. It just kind of goes, woo. Just like if somebody just whistled. I can't whistle. I'm sorry, guys. I can whistle, but it's just super loud. We're not going to do that. But it's just it's not a cat call. It's not anything.
Yeah.
It's just a whistle, and it's a whistle.
Yeah.
And it was that was super, super amazing. And so, there's just a lot of validation for me last night that, hey, these things are happening. So everything that I've been telling them, that I've been telling them, has been crazy. And I turned around and I looked at that girl and I said, just imagine that in your bedroom.
She probably freaked right then, didn't she? Say, nope.
She's like, what? I said, yeah. So, so she's like, oh, okay. I said, but I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he got to entertain you. And that's cool.
Here and not at my place.
Yeah. So last night before I was leaving, I'm like brushing off myself and I'm saying, y'all have to stay here, get off me. I'll see you next time. I'll be back, all of this other kind of stuff, doing everything with intent. And next thing you know, the whole group was doing the same thing. I'm like, do it. I promise you do it, because you don't want to be me. You don't want to be me.
That same thing happened to us in Mineola. Like I said, that one little entity that wanted to talk with nothing but the girls. All the guys got told essentially by the entity itself through the ghost box, hey, y'all leave. And they sat in there for a good 30 minutes having a conversation with this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes it's just the way it is.
Yeah, but clearly this thing is just entirely all about the women, because it has never happened. We had one of our members, we would do what's called a badge in. That means you have to do a long walk by yourself. They put you in one position for over an hour in a very haunted location, and you have to stay there.
Okay.
All by yourself, which for me, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, let's do it.
We're good.
But
we got it.
They put guys in that building. And only one person out of all the men that had been in there had an experience. Only one. And I said, hey, we shouldn't put men down in that building anymore. You want to have interaction with your team members. I said, put the ladies down there.
Yeah.
I said, that's where you're going to earn your badge. And everybody's like, yeah, I think you're right. I said, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Really sounds like it. I mean, it's got its eyes set on the lady, much like, over at Hill House, the same way we talked about before. You ladies had a lot more experience than the guys with the men team did. So.
Right. Exactly. That's the same thing with that house. That haunted Hill House. It was exhausting.
Yeah, for y'all. For us, I mean, literally, you saw what we got. We were able to cover ours in a couple of minutes, quite frankly, all the stuff we talk about. But and stuff happened, don't get me wrong, but not to the level of what y'all had.
Right. So, I mean, whenever we can get it all together and all of us go, we'll have to use that as an experiment. Put the ladies in the house for an hour and see.
Or two.
Or Yeah, or two.
So we can sit outside and laugh at y'all.
Right. We could use those baby monitors too. You guys can sit outside with the baby monitor and pretty much watch everything going on. So, I mean, we can do like an experiment like that and see, because women don't last in the haunted hill house.
Not usually. I don't think there's ever been one that's done the lone wolf at all.
No. For the men, there's been a few.
Yeah. About 7 or 8 have done the lone wolf. So they've, like I said, I could go in there and go to sleep and not worry about it. Just because I know they're not going to hurt me or anything like that. And the only ones I've seen the only ones I've ever seen anything really happen to that was caught on camera. If you look back at all that stuff, people that are holding flashlights get knocked out, people who are in the bed, they're all women. Almost every one of them is women.
Every one of them. So. Yeah. But I've slept in the house. Okay. I mean, all this stuff happening, but when you're literally trying to capture evidence and things like that, and you don't know which way to turn because all this stuff is happening, it does get exhausting. Yep. Because it does wear on you. It does wear you down.
Yeah.
It wears you down.
It exhausts you. Yeah, it can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I just think that's something that we can do, especially in a location like that. It's the same type of thing. Where if men are in the mix, you're going to get some activity, but you're not going to get the full thing. You put women in there, and I don't know why this is sometimes, but then it gets crazy. So it'll be a good experiment to try for real.
Yeah, 100%. It's one we'll have to try when we do that. We're going to have to, because I figure we're going to have a good 10-person team the way it's going to end up being. So we can put 5 people in there and the rest of them sit outside or do, because there's spots around the outside that you can actually go look around stuff too and do some researching. So, but
absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. When we get it done to do it, it's going to be a fun one. But anywho, so that's all that happened. That's it. Nothing else.
Oh, it's just the little things. I mean, those were the major highlights that from my weekend. It was kind of cute because I had a happy birthday tiara and a happy birthday girl button on my shirt, and Krista had brought like cupcakes for everyone.
You didn't have to share margaritas with nobody, did you?
No, but I did get a bottle of the adult spirits.
Okay, we're good with that then.
I told her, I said, I'm saving that for the conference.
There you go. Well, anyway, so everybody saw my little tagline, shall we say. I got a tirade to go on, but we're going to go on that later, a little bit later. We're going to start off with your
grandpa.
Well, yeah, I am a grandpa, So
yeah, Randy's going to go
on my nickname in the Army.
Angry rant tonight. I'm here for it.
Okay, I'm just going to sit here and
Well, I got 2 or 3 to do first, though. I mean, but still, the first one, these images first appeared in about 2013, and the owner claimed that they were actually taken by his friend's cousin's tree camera. Okay, trail cam, whatever you want to call the thing. Photos look to show a young child approaching a deer from the right, and while many have been quick to dismiss it as images as a hoax, and experts have noted that the images don't appear to have been manipulated in any way. Genuine reaction of the deer also lends a little weight of authenticity to the images, as it looks like the deer itself actually kind of looks at the quote unquote child. Many have suggested the figure may not be a human child. The timestamps of the images, they're all timestamps. All check out. Okay, so
it's already coming on.
What's that?
The story is already too much. Okay.
She's already putting it on. She hasn't.
Yeah, because when you look at it, I mean, here's the thing.
I like that they got 3 pictures. That's promising.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons I did bring this one, because I'm going to zoom in on the first one right off the bat. Okay. They say that nothing has been manipulated. Okay. You see, it's 4:02 a.m. 2013, 56 degrees outside on August 22nd. Okay, you got a deer here. It's looking off that away. No biggie. As you come down, this thing, I say thing, what looks like a child starts to appear. Like it's coming into frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
I wish it had the seconds on the actual timestamp. Then I could tell more. But
if they're all within the same minute, I'm fine.
They're all within the same minute, according to these timestamps. Now, you'll notice the first one, 56 degrees. This one, temperature dropped 2 degrees too. Okay.
Well, wait a minute. I got to take my hat off. Hold on.
Yeah.
Which is not strange. That is a normal occurrence when you're dealing with something.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay, go ahead.
And 2 degrees is not a big deal in this situation to start with. In the space of a couple seconds, it could just be a cold wind blowing by.
You know what though, Randy? I have to disagree. Because you're talking 2 degrees, but look at how far that thing is back there.
Yeah.
So that has to reach all the way to the trail cam. That's a lot.
We don't know that this is what's causing the drop.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Wind across could have done it. But I'm going to zoom in further. I want you to look a little bit closer at it, though.
Okay.
Now, I would have normally said something along the lines of, right now, I'd have said, okay, this is a bug coming across and something like that, or it's doing something. But
move your cursor.
Yeah. This is not a bug coming across the camera that I can tell anyway. And that deer is actually reacting to it coming there. It looks like to me.
Okay, let's see the third one, please.
Okay. So, and then we come down to the third one. The deer's taking off. Now, here's the only issue I've got. See, it's the deer has moved closer. It's still 54 degrees. And it's like they both moved a little bit closer. I'm trying to get a little bit. See, there's no difference in here. There's no difference here. So the background has all stayed the same. But that deer is closer. Now, in that few seconds from the time it took this picture, it would have had to come over here. This thing had to get closer, or it had to spin and get going the other way quick. That's not a lot of time. It's within, you're still within. See, it's at 4:03 at that point. This is where I start getting confused with it because it's not a lot of time, but anybody who's been deer hunting obviously knows that is plenty of time for that deer to spin and go.
Spin and go, it could have ran through the screen twice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily.
So,
but now which one you want to go to next? You want to go to the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. Coming in on this one down here.
It definitely looks like a kid.
It looks like a kid, but that kid's
deer's definitely closer to the camera. You could tell by the foliage.
Yep. Which makes me think it did one of those side.
It did like a turn. Yeah.
And started bounding away. That somebody said it could be a human kid. First of all, the kid don't look like it's all there. First of all. Secondly, what idiot is going to have a kid out there at 4:00 in the morning? Because you don't know what that deer is going to actually do. You really don't.
That's what I mean. A kid's not going to walk up on a deer. It's just not going to happen.
No. And this deer looked, honestly, here, that deer looks almost confused as to what's coming.
Yeah. But
they say that deer in the headlight thing, but that's what it looks like. So when you come back down here.
Okay.
He's taking off.
Yeah, but we are assuming, and we know that word assume, we are assuming that is walking towards each other.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be it's walking at an angle coming closer to the camera. You see what I mean?
You're talking about the child, right? The child figure
coming this way, which in return is spooking the deer coming this way.
Actually, it looks like it. See where it's at here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't know what directions it's walking.
It's going right here. It ends up right here. See the branching and stuff right there?
So it turns backwards? Walks backwards?
Or it's coming this way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's coming towards the camera.
Yeah, it's coming that way. Yeah, you're right. I thought you were saying it's coming like this toward this deer over here.
No. It's coming back this way.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to do my hands. So if everybody can see it, I'm trying to make it's coming back towards the camera. But so is the deer. We're just assuming it's trying to walk away or whatever, but it's coming towards the camera. So you're talking about possibly 15 seconds to 18 seconds in between.
I'd say max. Between the second and the third photo, I would say that is max.
Right. So a lot can happen in that amount of time. I mean, as it's coming into the camera, I guess, that deer could have, like I said, spooked, spun around, run around in a circle, and then started running off. You know, because if ever you had a deer run across in front of you, or any animal for that matter, they don't necessarily do what a human would do. They wouldn't try to get across as fast as possible. Sometimes they do a double take, or they hesitate, or they just freak out, and then ultimately we know what happens. Yeah. So they're unpredictable. As humans, we would just run away. We wouldn't jot back and forth and whatever. No. We would just strictly just run away. Now, animals are a different story. But
and Nemo said something here about an overlay here. You know, if you overlay 2 or 3 pictures, it's not the distance, but the same time. And like I said, without seeing the seconds, I'm assuming that this is several seconds that are going between the two because
or it may not be. Because my trail cam takes a 3-shot burst every time it is triggered.
But this is 2013, so what does this trail cam do? Mine are all set up to do 3 shots in a 15-second video. So that's the way I set all mine up.
No, I do mine in a 3-shot quick burst, so I can watch the movement. Like bam, bam, bam. That's what it does. Bam, bam, bam.
Mine does 3 shots like that, and
but
then does a
15-second
video.
If you do 15-second videos, so you get 45 seconds worth of film.
Well, yeah, three, boom, 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 and then 15 seconds behind it.
Yeah.
So it continues after the 3 shots. It does 15 seconds minimum of video.
Yeah.
So that's the way mine are set up, though. But anyway.
But even that is still with under 1 minute.
Yeah, it's all within a minute. So.
I don't know.
I see what you're saying, Nemo. Nemo's saying he's saying if you overlay the second and third, you know, that possibly, but it's not the time's not right or whatever. Yeah, just there's too much movement between that second and third. So I would say there's probably at least 10 to 15 seconds between them.
And who knows, because they might have been at a standstill for a second.
Exactly.
But if you look at the way the grass is and all of the pictures, especially it's right there in front of the camera. You can look at the grass there, and the grass is completely the same. So the camera hasn't moved.
Right here.
Nope, down here, down in the front, down towards the bottom. The line of grass. It looks like a line going across the front of grass.
Yep.
It's completely the same. Right. So the camera has not moved.
No. So that's what I was saying. This right here was why I was saying this makes me think, shows that this figure here is moving to right here.
Yeah.
Because it matches up right there.
Well, again, we're not, if we're dealing with paranormal, we're dealing with paranormal.
Period.
Yeah. So their movements may or may not make sense. I mean, they can move quicker or slower. Who knows?
And this is the only thing I haven't done, because this one obviously blurs a little bit because of the actual movement of the deer there. But with this one, you can almost see hair and a face of this entity. I don't want to say child, because I don't think it's a child. It's watching that deer take off.
Yeah. That's true. And that's just saying that we're dealing with strictly paranormal.
Yeah.
I mean, could we be dealing with something else that lives in the woodland? I don't know. Yeah. I can't tell.
Where's Monica? Monica, we got some Faye to talk about.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, could it be that? I don't know. Because some of them are very human in appearance and some of them are not.
Can I tell you guys what I think?
What's that?
That's a ghost, baby.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? I can totally hear him saying it right now in my head.
Yeah.
I can totally hear him saying it.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I can totally hear it in my head, him saying it just in that accent that he does. Yeah. And then they do a close up on his teeth. Yeah.
I love those.
Glad I'm with you. It looks a lot like a child now. Sweetly Morbid Bear, though.
It could be a small adult. I mean, seriously, though.
Yeah, it could be. But in front of it all, sees a guy on a horse. His hat starts at the end of what y'all are talking about. Okay, so let's see here. Guy on a horse. I guess I'm not seeing that for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know if that is pareidolia.
Maybe. They're seeing it, but I mean, this looks like there's something there, in this area.
I don't know though. I mean, that is so unclear. Yeah, I can't for sure say what it is. But see, pareidolia will put that thought in your head. I try to tell everybody this. It's something that you can picture, that you can see without even seeing it. So if you see somebody on a horse, but it's not somebody on a horse, that's automatically what your brain's that's your go-to.
Yeah. Yep.
It's its own way of trying to figure out what's happening and what you're looking at. That's what your brain does. So I can't see that, but this is the first time I'm seeing these, and I'm seeing them on a very small screen. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be more things in this picture I'm not seeing.
And there could be, like I said, once again, we're talking about a trail cam from 2013.
Full Hand says,
I'm
however,
the
childlike entity doesn't appear as detailed as the deer.
Correct.
No, it does not.
Correct. Yeah, and that makes you wonder is how come we're seeing the deer perfectly plain and good, and then this entity is it has that smudgy look like that.
Yeah.
And it's almost transparent. It's almost there, but not quite there.
And even this first photo, you can see it's looking back from the area where the entity is coming from.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it kind of knows more than what we know, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
right.
And then at that point, hey, I'm going to see you.
Right. So if we're going on the word of this person that these times are right, the dates are right, that everything in this is perfectly legit.
Mm-hmm.
No, you would not have your kid running around at that time in the morning. I don't know. It just seems weird. The camera did move. We clearly saw the camera did not move.
Yeah, and Nemo, that's one of the first things I brought up was how the deer looked like it moved, but we're seeing a difference of the minute goes over. So we're talking probably a good 15 seconds minimum is what we're thinking between the two pictures. So it could easily have made its turn and then decided to bolt at that point.
It easily could have moved quite a few feet in 10 seconds.
Yeah. So, and once again, I would have loved if they'd have had the actual seconds on here so we could have actually looked at them. But like I said, trail cams back then and to that, you talk about 12, 13 years ago by this point,
Yeah.
And probably not a top of the line camera at that time. So you talk about probably a 2 to 4 megapixels is what you're looking at. You probably only got 4 to 6 LED emitters on it. So, quite frankly, to get this level of clarity just right on these two here is pretty good for that camera at that time. So,
I'm
you fencing this one now?
Yeah, I'm fencing it. I can't say it's legit.
What did she do first? She
put on her tinfoil.
She put on her hat, didn't she?
Well, I'm still not away from it. You know what I mean? I'm still right there.
Yeah.
Because I'm going based on what I'm given. Now, of course, that's the pretense of the whole show. We're going based on the testimony and what the picture looks like.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. I'm not totally 100% sure either way.
I'm with you on it because I can't find anything that shows any tampering in the actual photos themselves. Usually an overlay is going to be some sort of smudging.
Or is this somebody taking snapshots of the trail cam? Like they're taking snippets from the trail cam.
That's all I got is this right here. So literally it's been out there before since 2013. Best I can tell is that this was a piece together from the trail cam video, not videos, but the actual card, the video, the SD card.
Okay, so we don't know if it was video or a time burst.
Yeah, I think it's a time burst because I don't even know if that's at that trail cam at that time. I can't make out the actual brand, but we don't even know if it was if it had a video option or not. So.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I mean, I don't like to think that there are child ghosts out there. I just don't believe it. I don't believe the innocent are out there. I mean, granted, that's 99% of the time. You know, every once in a while, you know, we do get children who, you know, just somehow lose their way.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that every time we turn around, we're seeing ghost children. I believe that our God takes over and he does what he needs to do with them.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all in my belief and my own opinion. Now, you'll normally, if I see a child spirit, I question it.
Yes.
100%.
Because they're supposed to be pure. They're not supposed to be hanging around.
Pure and innocent. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, after puberty, that all changes. But before then,
when I was like 6 or 7 years old, I was like an evil little bastard.
Well, yeah, but that's you.
See, you would be one of those ghost kids I'd expect to find.
I would have. Okay. That would have been me. Totally.
You know, but like I said, I mean, I would totally question children being out there. Like I said, it does happen. Like I said, some lose their way, especially when it's like a very tragic type ending and they're looking for their parents or, they're just stuck for one reason or another. But question that, people, because that doesn't happen a lot. Yeah, always question that.
See, for those photos, my main question is, what if that's just a straight up physical person, right?
What if it is? Yeah.
What if it is?
Because we can't tell. We can't really tell.
Because it is funny how the details of the deer are much clearer. Isn't that odd?
Because the deer, when they stay still, right? Whereas humans are always in like subtle, constant motion, especially if they're not that familiar with the environment.
Yeah, but there is not a clear part on any of that figure. We would normally, in movement, we would find at least one clear part. One, unless it was running.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
This is all in the eye of the beholder, obviously.
On that. Still. This thing looks like it's standing still, looking right at the deer. So you would expect something, at least a piece. Even if the hand moved, you would see a clear blur, just like we did on the deer, of something moving. We don't see that. It doesn't have it's not showing signs of movement. It's just standing there. Just like in the second picture and the third picture, it just looks like it's standing there.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's moving at all.
It doesn't look like it's moving. No.
But it still looks blurred up. So
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, you know, Donnie, you may be right. I mean, this thing could have been moving and it just caught it in that one position and got lucky. You know, we don't know. I mean, it's all in luck of the game when you're using a camera.
Okay. Well, I'm going to push us on to the next one because I'm going to do this one real quick because I think it's going to grab the tinfoil real quick on this one. But this one was, this person wrote, quote unquote, I was taking a photo of this tree when we thought it was a funny, grumpy face look. It didn't notice his figure until later on. This was taken at a house being listed for sale today. That was, and not today, obviously, is whenever the picture was taken. But today it was operating as a Civil War hospital at one time. This is all that the owner said. There's no date associated, no nothing. And I think we might have looked at it before or something a lot like it.
Oh. Well, first of all, we're taking a picture of the tree.
Yeah, which is right here.
Yeah, which is at the other side of the picture, not even the center picture.
Exactly. Unless which tells me if they did do it, they cropped it, and this is what we got cropped. So immediately, when they said that, I immediately thought, as I looked at it, I was like, well, it looks to me like there's a statue back in this yard behind them.
It already looks cropped. I mean,
it is cropped. There's no doubt in my mind.
Cropped, yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, maybe there's a statue in this yard that's back behind because you see the top of the chain link fence that's right there going that way, and it's back there. But I'm sitting there looking at it closer. I'm like, well, it does kind of blend into that other tree back there. But it also looks like something that somebody could have easily superimposed on there because you've got, once again, a little bit of the telltale smudging right here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of too white for where it's at. You know what I mean? And if people's looking at it close, hey, look, maybe you need to look at this because this is as good a pareidolia as ever going to see right there. What's your thoughts? And don't throw nothing at me.
I have no idea what that thing is.
Yeah.
But
I would have rather seen the entire picture, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would like to see that. We're only seeing a little because they've cut it. You can see it by the way the picture's laid out there. It's cut.
It's been cropped.
Because we can't even see the grumpy old tree. And why would you be taking a picture of a grumpy old tree?
The only thing I can see is maybe that right there is what they're saying is grumpy.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you're taking a picture of a lot of this house.
Yeah. So I'm like,
if that's what you're thinking, that there's something wrong with this story.
Yeah, 100%. Because like I say, I don't think that it's anywhere close to being a paranormal activity type thing or whatever.
I don't know what that is.
They cropped it and they enhanced it. I mean, well, not necessarily enhanced, but they zoomed in to get it to where it's in right now. I bet if you backed up and showed the full photo, you could barely make out that figure right there.
Right.
So, yeah.
This is one. I'm not gonna say that it's tinfoil, but I don't think this is the truth either.
I don't think. I think it was complete 100% put out there for people to. It's clickbait, 100%. Yeah. And I clicked on it, so I helped out. I'm part of the problem.
I'm trying to enhance it with AI.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't think that this, because the picture makes no sense. Hey, we're taking a picture of the tree because the tree looks grumpy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, so
and Pancho, this was new at one point, but it didn't last very long. I kind of dropped it and kicked it a few times. I don't know what. So it is what it is.
He has to, I guess, break down and buy some new rental crap.
No, I got plenty downstairs. I'm not artistically inclined, so I let my kids do it for me. Just this one didn't quite hang out very well.
Well, that's because I remember you were fighting with it with your earphones and stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of small when you put the headphones on.
Yeah,
it was just a regular head, good to go, but that didn't work out. Hey,
I don't
easy
know.
there, Sherry. Easy there. See what you wrote. I probably said that 100 times.
I've done that too. I've actually sing that song, especially when I've done something so stupid and you knew better.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if I only had a brain. Yeah,
If
absolutely.
I only had a brain.
Absolutely, Sherry. I agree 100%. I've done it myself. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't get that one.
Now I get to get on my little soapbox a little bit. Because as I go through this stuff and I look out on Facebook, I look out on Reddit, I look out on just do internet searches for any kind of the pictures and such we go over. And every so often I come upon something that really just starts to stick in my craw a little bit. And this is one of them. This right here.
Gosh. I'm just gonna sit back. This is Randy. Go ahead, Randy. I'm sitting
this
back.
Right
I don't
here.
need...
Yeah. You can go ahead and put it on because it don't make no difference.
I'm already good.
Straight out calling out people on this one because this is the most ridiculous excuse of clickbait. Now I'm looking at you, those guys out there in the Bigfoot believers community that's out on Facebook. This was put up on your stuff, okay?
Oh wait, hold on, Randy, hold on real quick before we go there. That last picture, right? I had AI photo enhance it.
Okay.
Let me show you what resulted in. Oh man, hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
It's loading.
Lord have mercy. That would probably be about right, honestly.
Anyway, continue. I just wanted to show that. I just thought it was amusing.
Yeah. You got Squid Games out there in the middle of the yard.
Yeah. All right. Go for it.
Anyway. Okay. So this was put up on the Bigfoot Believers community bunch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read to you exactly what this, for lack of a better term, person.
Oh, can I read it actually?
Yeah. You're still back there. See if you can read it because, like I said, it gave me freaking. Yeah.
So this is what Randy read on the so this caption was describing this photo that was posted online, right?
Yes.
A frozen juvenile Sasquatch discovered in 1981 on the top of Mount St. Helens after it blew. Not the Minnesota Iceman, not a fake, not made for a movie.
Specify how Minnesota is spelled on that, first of all.
Yeah, Minnesota, Minnesota. Real nice job there. Yeah. Not a fake, not made for a movie, all caps. It was real. They got DNA, hair, and flesh samples. Then they found 12 other dead Sasquatch in the area and quickly removed them to hide them from the public. A clear and from all angles pictures that doubters will say it's fake. It's hard to read when their grammar's so bad. But truly have no proof it's fake. They have no proof it's fake.
Yeah. So,
Donnie, just for future reference, read it like it's written. Yeah. Then you probably get it right in that accent.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
One of the first comments.
Minnesota.
Well, obviously he's writing it phonetically, but anyway, Minnesota. Okay.
Minnesota.
So the first comment that comes out says, you do realize Mount St. Helens actually blew off its top. Have you ever been there? We live within 50 miles away from it, and nothing has ever been said about this supposed find. Okay. The guy, instead of talking about the find, he comes back, well, it didn't blow the exact top. It blew southeast side of the top. And the northwest side is almost non-touched. Okay, people. Here's a picture. I'm going to go this one first. There's a picture of the actual eruption, okay? Time-lapsed, okay? There's a picture before and after. These are about 10 months apart, okay? There's a picture within, 3 months of each other? 4 months of each other? I'm sorry.
What's it missing?
Yeah, the entire top.
The entire top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this dude is like literally lost it, and I'm losing my mind on it because he is on there talking about this, right? And
it's almost as if he's so stupid, it's painful.
it's painful for me to read it too.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there talking about it, and then talks about how they did this and this and this. Then another guy comes on and says, "Hey, guess what? That never came from Minnesota or from freaking what you call it to start with, Mount St. Helens. It was done in Europe by a sculptor to help a documentary on the Minnesota Iceman. That's what it's done. It's made out of horsetail hair, I should say. They even interviewed the guy after the fact. And one lady kept putting her YouTube channel out there, a French or Belgian YouTube channel that she's got, and kept talking about being real and being this and being that. And she's talking about, this guy just gave you the links to all my facts. This is real. This is this and this and this. And we're all like, my brain is hurting. My brain is hurting here now. And the guy comes back in and says, "Oh, joy, looky there. Another YouTuber throwing crap against the wall to see what sticks." It is what it is, right? We all have to live it down. But she sat there and said, "Yeah, here's my facts." And she actually gave, well, her person that gave all her links gave an actual link to the site that debunked it. They actually made this in Eastern Europe. The site is in Russian. This was done as part of a documentary. They even gave the name of the sculptor and everything. And I'm sitting there going, how in the world are you guys getting? It was up to like 700-800 daggone comments by the time I'd gotten done with just reading the outright stupidity I was watching. 95% of them believe it's real.
Damn.
They believe it's real.
And these are people in like the cryptid. These are like cryptid people.
Well, use the term very loosely. Use it
Just
very loosely.
Dudes online.
These are people that fancy themselves, Bigfoot aficionados. They know everything. They've seen everything. They've studied everything, but they've never actually put a foot in the woods. Okay, I'm never going to tell you I'm a Bigfoot expert because I have not had the experience that other people have. But I can tell you might be something there that I can't explain. That being said, to throw this out there, and I'm going to zoom in here, guys. I want you to look at this. Supposedly, one guy says the teeth and the daggum muscle are all in the right spot. They're all in the right spot. This can't be fake.
It's got to be real.
How long did they say that this thing was buried?
This was found supposedly after the explosion. So we're talking about within a month. Now, do you know how much heat was on top of that mountain?
I was getting ready to say, it looks pretty intact for it to be under, any type of
it in ice.
Only lava. Sure,
not even the lava part. The pyroclastic flow. Yeah,
the steam.
Yeah, I'm like, you have got to be incredibly naive to even think that would be real. I mean, the eyes are wrong, the teeth are wrong. It's all faked in there. Look, and another guy came in. I'm going to read you what an actual scientist that put something out on it said. One, first of all, whoever asserts must prove. That's part of logic, debate, law, all of it. You made the assertion.
The burden of proof.
We don't have to prove it's fake. You have to prove it's real.
The burden of proof. Yep.
Second, it's ridiculous to think that you anybody obtained DNA, hair, etc., and it was never released at all. Not in that time frame anyway. Okay. 3, it doesn't look like something that can easily be faked. That can't easily be faked. Sorry, not can't easily be faked. Obviously, we're looking at it. We know it's fake from the get-go. And he said, this is the final one, and this is the one thing that got me more than anything. So it is, like all such photos, conveniently blurred and blurry in subpar quality. It's not only poor quality, but black and white. In 1980 and 81, clear color photos were easy to take, and it's beyond ridiculous to think somebody documenting this to a find of this importance would take such a grainy black and white shot in poor light.
There were professional cameras available. It wasn't that entirely too long ago.
Yeah.
Let's move that picture down. I want to see the bottom of it. I want to see the bottom picture because this is the one that cracks me up the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfectly intact.
Yeah. For being on top of a volcano.
Yeah, not a hair singed. None.
Can't put it on the internet if it's not real, guys.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm not even worried about this part of being real. I'm more worried about the fact that people are so short-sighted out there in the Bigfoot community and so lacking in basic historical knowledge that, quite frankly, after that, this came up.
Oh, geez.
Okay. Everybody in the world knows what this is, right? This is the famous Eric Shipton photo from 1951 of the Yeti footprint on Mount Everest. Okay. You want to know what the guy wrote on this one? Let's see. Where was that? Shipton photo. There we are. Shipton photo. Boom. In capital letters. Boom. Deny that. What? What do you mean, boom, deny that? The dude put it out there. Got people, needless to say, hundreds of people come back. Oh, it's just bear prints. It's bear prints. It's bear prints. First of all, that don't look nothing like no bear print, first of all.
Absolutely not. Not even if it backstepped.
No. Not, and I this one I actually responded to. I cannot believe I did it, but I got it out there and I responded to it. And I said, first of all, you give me a picture from 1951. You're telling me other comments talking about bears. And he says, they don't have bears in South Africa. I'm like, wait, you're trying to tell me this come from South Africa? Well, yeah, I said, one guy said, you don't have snow in South Africa. Yeah, you got snow. I know there's mountains in South Africa. I do know that. But you took a world famous photo and purposefully put it in a different spot. So I'm like sitting there, okay. And I start my tirade. I said, first of all, it's a 1951 taken by Eric Shipton, and Dr. Ward was the one that found it. That's it, and several blah blah blah. Right? Explain to them, and all you bear people, and other people put real bear prints out there for them to look at and say, okay, this is not bear. This is not even close. And there's no bear that live at 10 to 11,000 feet elevation in the Himalayas. So I'm like,
let's just speak the obvious. Bears do not have retractable claws.
No, they do not. Not
so
one
you will
bit.
see something of a claw mark. So, I mean, there's the Mr. Obvious or Captain Obvious.
Exactly.
Or tinfoil obvious.
This is what made me hot, because it's like telling me you guys are now out there putting crap on Facebook, putting crap on Reddit, putting crap on, and you throw something like this that everybody that's ever watched In Search of in their life knows about, and you're saying it was somewhere else. And I went out and found the stuff, this is the actual photo, one of the actual photos here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the
I remember seeing that in a book when I was a little kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This one right here was another one that Eric Shipton purported to might have been a Yeti print. But Sir Edmund Hillary came back later and said, no, it's obviously you've got either a Himalayan wolf or a snow leopard where it has actually already started melting. And you see where they took the footprint next to it. It's way too small to be what they consider a Yeti print, quote unquote. Okay. And then that right there is the exact original photo and exactly the way it was taken. And the only reason I knew this, because after I started searching this thing, I ended up finding, they forgot to put out the actual track line that was part of the photos that was taken. And then there's all four of them. You know what? All four of these pictures were sold at Christie's of London in 2014 for 6,875 British pounds, which is about $9,500 today. And I'm looking at them like, you never see this one ever. That's Eric Shipton's footprint or boot right there. They never talk about it being that. He said, obviously it's wider, but it's basically the same length as his boot. They never talk about this other one that you can barely see the tracks, but they go off on their own. And I believe that's Shipton right there too. my biggest issue with this all, and I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but if you don't learn from history, you're going to be condemned to repeat it. And these people don't even know the first thing about history, and they want to say that they know what they're doing when it comes to looking for Bigfoot. If you don't learn from the past, you can't look for them in the first place.
Yeah, first of all, you don't even want to consider what could happen to you by using somebody else's evidence as your own.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know what legal actions can be taken, but you will be thrown out of this community quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. Your name would be mud, but probably in a day with the way social media runs today.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Second of all, these are world famous pictures.
Yes.
How? I don't understand why people just make up their own stories to somebody else's actual experience or encounters or evidence. They make up their own narrative to suit whatever it is they're trying to do. This is, this falls in the line of kind of like hoaxing, I would say. Almost.
We actually had a few of them called that.
I actually think it's worse than hoaxing. I think it's just plagiarizing.
It really is. But it falls into that line of hoaxing. You are taking somebody's evidence and putting your own narrative to it.
Yeah, 100%. And it drives me insane.
Right.
I would never go out there and say, hey, look at this picture. I caught this picture, which there are pictures of the Patterson-Gimlin film of the famous turnaround look. Mm-hmm. There's pictures out there, people saying they caught it up in Washington State just the other day. It's literally out there right now. Of course, they get called out right away, like I called this guy out, and several did.
Right.
But, and Bristol, not yet. But then again, I'm not a member of the Bigfoot believers community.
Wait, so Randy, what message board was this? Where were you on?
I got banned from there.
It was on Facebook. What'd you say?
Okay.
What'd you say? She said what?
Brandy got banned there from there.
Oh, did you get banned from Bigfoot believers?
Yeah.
Well, I've never joined it. First of all, it just comes up, as my suggestions every so often because I've got so much on the Bigfoot, the paranormal.
Oh, maybe I should join and just troll them.
Well, this is my whole deal. I mean, if you put up blurry pictures or you may see something I don't, hey, that's okay. I'm not going to say nothing. To each his own. You want to believe that that's something? Okay. I may not believe it, but hey, that's just me. But when you do what, Donnie used the best words, when you have plagiarism involved, then I'm going to say something. I'm really going to say something because we all know that that's not your evidence. I don't know how or why they allow these people in any.
I know a couple people in this community who've been caught plagiarizing, and it's a reputation killer.
Yeah. Oh yes, and our friend Steve Coles is one of those my favorites when it comes to using other people's evidence or falsely presenting evidence, and he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Some people like him, some people don't. I guess it's all up to you. He's a great guy. But I don't know how. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I can't tell you that. I mean,
that's worse to me than hoaxing, because even hoaxing, you're at least making that hoax yourself. You're actually putting in the effort, but plagiarizing, you're just stealing someone else's work and just straight up lying about
yours.
it.
Yeah,
I mean, to take that picture.
Because, we did talk about this a little bit on Friday night. We talked about what is the worst thing that we hate in the cryptid community. I mean, what would we change if we could? Mine came up as the hoaxing bit. Is totally like if you find somebody hoaxing stuff, literally knowingly hoaxing things, they need to be banned. They need to, if we could ban them from everything in the cryptid community, I would.
And plagiarizers.
Well, that too, but I mean, we talked about that. I mean, I said if in this instance, it would fall under what I'm saying. If we could just ban all of these people to never speak on the interweb again on this subject, I would be very happy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because there's another thing, like if you see something rustling or whatever, you catch a blurry picture. What? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, to each his own. I wasn't there. I don't know. But
100%.
When it's clearly somebody else's work, well, I do know.
Yeah.
So and I would say ban them forever.
I mean, and that's why I got so mad this between yesterday and today. Before I even really went on Donnie's show last night, I started looking a little bit more for some stuff to throw on today, and then I kept running across that stuff. I'd saved it from earlier in the week, and then it just came back, and it's like, you know what, bullcrap. I'm calling these sons of bitches out. Yeah, it's my channel. I can do this stuff. I can say I'm calling these sons of bitches out because, quite frankly, it just pisses me off.
We may have to bleep it later, but he's saying it now. Yeah.
I didn't say any actual names. I just said the name of the community, and you guys can go out there. But Bristol knows it. Bristol's seen it before too. We're on several of the paranormal ones together. So it's like, I just don't know what to say to people like that. Because we have a certain person in the Bigfoot community that has that reputation. I've never met him, but other people say he's great, and that is a certain gentleman with the initials of TNS. Okay, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to take the chance on getting a lawsuit for whatever reason. But this guy he was outed once. People believe he was outed once, and then they turned around.
Oh,
and what did he do? He did the freaking Survivor Man Bigfoot. He ended up going out with him, with Les Stroud. And I'm like, I love you, Les, but I'm sorry. Not happening. Hi, Tex.
Hi, Tex.
Hi, Tex. Do you have anything to say about hoaxers and plagiarizers and people who try to steal other people's evidence?
In the words of the great Randy.
Who?
Bah, freaking humbug.
Exactly. Piss me the hell off. You know what? They don't. They do the subject disservice. They do us disservice. I mean, 100%. I mean, I'm not comparing it to this, but it's the same. This whole stolen valor thing. Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Now,
they want their 3 minutes of fame or whatever they can get.
I'm not saying they're the same because they are not.
No, okay? But still, I know what you mean.
It is right there. It's along the same lines. So
it is. It is.
Once you hoax, you're done. As far as in my book, I don't care.
Yeah, and once you steal somebody's evidence and try to claim it as your own, I believe you should be totally through in the community.
You should be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, see, and I know two. I personally know two people that did that, and they're still kicking in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't understand.
I don't either.
Unless they've got a smooth way of talking and smooth over their followers.
Well, and you hit nail on the head right there, Brady. Yeah. They have their core group of people that,
they're gonna believe anything they say, no matter what.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I like the people that watch all of our shows. Texas Front Porch, Donnie's show, this one, Blondes and Booze, because we will tell you something, but we will always say, in my own opinion, because it is our own opinion, and
100%.
We encourage people to question everything. That's what we do, because hey, you may know something I don't, and that's good. That's
So
good.
that's why, and when we put out some evidence, it's not, hey, this is this. It's like, here's this, you decide.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do y'all think? Type thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
Mhm.
Because anytime you submit any kind, and this goes into complete freaking scientific data analysis, period. When you put stuff out there, it has to be peer reviewed. It has to be looked at, and for it to ever gain any traction at all.
Right.
Nowadays, they just throw stuff out. Oh, it's real. It's not real. It's real. Well, have you examined it? Well, no, I just know. No, it don't work like that.
Don't work like that.
No.
So yeah, and that's why I got mad about them with the Eric Shipton photo, because I was like, okay, this guy is supposedly from South Africa. He's never even been in the field before, other than hunting baboons. All right. So outside of that, there's no way in hell he got this and actually thinks that everybody else in the world is going to believe that came from South Africa. Then the one for the Mount St. Helens one, you're like, we know.
Show text. Show text.
I'll bring it up again. Yeah, hang on a second here. The Mount St. Helens one, I'm like, it's been proven across multiple sites and such that it was not a credible. It came from England, or correction, Europe. It never came from actual Mount St. Helens like they said it did.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
And they're talking about how they had like straight up like 12 bodies, but then the government took the other 11 away. We got the DNA evidence. You got to prove to me that it's fake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, these are like
I'm
serious
sorry.
people, really?
Wrong answer. You know what this kind of reminds me of? You remember with the stuff that what's his name? Oh my God, I can't remember the dude's name now. That hoaxed Matt Moneymaker and them. The guy that had it in the damn ice chest.
No, that wasn't Moneymaker. That was but I know who you're talking about. The ex-cop.
Yeah, the one from down south Texas, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, but if I'm not mistaken, though, wasn't Moneymaker the one that bought it?
No. That
wasn't Moneymaker that bought it?
Bouchard.
Oh, Richard bought it?
No, Bouchard. Biscott. What the hell was his name?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I remember him now. Biscotti.
Damn it.
Something like that. Either way. As we're sitting there looking at it, we're like, okay, the wording on this was completely, first of all, the guy that wrote it needed to be shot anyway, because I felt like I could not read anymore after it.
Well, it's not even that, Randy.
Biscardi.
What? Biscardi.
Yeah, Biscardi.
Okay, so what other great eruption happened in history that they are still uncovering bodies?
Vesuvius all day long.
Do they look like that? No.
Not even close.
No. So that had me from the get-go.
Yeah, and believe me, that got called out. But like I said, on the Facebook post of that, you had about 20 to 30 of us that were calling BS on it and trying to point out, and about 900 comments about how real that was. And some of them are just, don't get me wrong, you got the trolls out there that just want to stir shit, okay?
Well, yeah. I mean, there is that. But how many videos have we seen in the last year of they supposedly caught them in the woods? You know what I mean? Right. And, that's real. And it's clearly AI.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, what made you believe that?
And no idea. Absolutely no idea.
I think speaking of AI, guys, I prepared a special song for Randy.
Uh-oh.
Now, I don't know if people know this about you, Randy. I don't know if you want this out in the open or not. I think you're pretty open about that. You are actually an aper.
Yes.
Right. He's flesh and blood. He's in the flesh and blood camp.
Yes.
And I did 100%. A little song commemorating Randy.
Did you get a better picture of me now without those abscess?
Just watch. Are you guys ready?
I'm so ready. I'm ready.
I spent this afternoon preparing it. Here we go. It's called Randy the Aper. Okay.
Randy don't think Bigfoot's anything special. Bigfoot ain't orcs trapped in no furry vessel. Randy hates those transdimensional portals. Bigfoot eats bananas, he's just a regular mortal. 'Cause Randy's an aper, Randy's an aper. Screw all that cryptid crap, couldn't be faker. 'Cause Randy's an aper, Randy's an aper. Randy Gilbert loves science, he ain't no hater. Randy Gilbert thinks Dogman is so not real. The same wonder as Tex, he just cannot feel. Bipedal canine, Department of Defense. To a former army guy, that shit don't make sense. 'Cause Randy's an aper, Randy's an aper. Screw all that cryptid crap, couldn't be faker. 'Cause Randy's an aper, Randy's an aper. Randy Gilbert loves science, he ain't no hater. Bigfoot, flesh and blood, screw all that bull crap. To him, them Bigfoot nerds are such gullible saps. It's just an ape wandering American woods. Rejects that Harry Potter crap, as we all should.
Now,
what you guys think?
Of course, I have to deal with the AI side of it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm looking at it. Couldn't it have at least used my actual last name instead of all those other B's for the name tag?
Yeah,
for the name
yeah,
tag?
I noticed that. It just messed up like your actual like name tag.
I don't know. It's still fantastic.
Nobody's
paying attention to that.
The awards bit was right.
Yeah.
I was like, as I was looking at it, I was like, that's really me. It really is me. Watch me. I'll sit there and kiss
I'm going
on
to post that one up on YouTube
long.
as a standalone. That one was good. Jason says that was the best one I've done yet.
Which one?
Yeah, I like that one. I mean, you can. That is definitely a rated G. Oh well, PG.
Mm-hmm.
PG. Yeah, you can show that to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely post that one. That one's pretty good. And the one about Tex. That was pretty good.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually I'm going to do a remix. I'm not satisfied with that because the ending didn't turn out right, but I think I can make it better. So expect that one coming up.
There it is.
And don't worry, Brandy, I'll make one for you too.
Oh Lord,
I'm already like coming up with a list of words that rhyme with Brandy.
all the Swiss Miss stuff you can find. Make sure it's got marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Oh yeah.
And don't forget Laura Croft.
Oh yeah, Laura Croft too. Yeah. Don't forget that one. Well, you guys, we are at an hour and 22 minutes now.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to go on that rant. Sorry.
That's why it was called Grandpa's Bigfoot Rant. I mean,
and go away.
There you go. There it is. There it is. It was Randy's rant.
Yeah, I was wasn't happy with that one, but okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so everybody make sure that you tune in tomorrow night to Texas Front Porch at 8 p.m. Central. And of course, catch us all on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central for the Paranormal Show and Tell.
Yep.
And that's all we have for the next few days on us, of course. Catch BMR on Tuesday.
And it's Selena's later on tonight.
Yep.
7 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, I do my Tuesday night owls now. So
that's right. And I keep forgetting about that because I never get to catch you because I have to wake up like super early, so I don't catch them. I mean, when you used to go on at like 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes I'd be able to catch those because I wake up at 2:30, and sometimes I'd be able to catch them. But now you're like right in that in between where I can't. But yeah, I forget about those. You got them night owls. So don't forget, Texas night owls now.
For you night people.
Yeah, for all you night owl people.
I'm trying to talk JoJo into coming on tomorrow night.
Oh, that'd be good.
Wow, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. JoJo, you need to just hop on in there if you're listening.
Yep, 100%.
All right, with that being said, everybody, we'll catch you next Sunday for Truth or Tinfoil at 5 p.m. Central.
Yay.
Good night, everybody.
I think I feel another Red Circle Sunday coming. Here we go.
Oh, maybe. Push the button. That one.
Okay.